Right now at 5, as the school year approaches, it means that the pool time comes to a close.
And you might want to take advantage of what pool time you have left, as we've got another round of hot temperatures this week. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, players of all ages take to the field for a soccer tournament that supports a good cause.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday already.
Yes,
again.
Is.
Here it is.
Here we are.
Oh, man.
As always.
We made it through the weekend.
Yeah, you have a good weekend, Chris?
I won't. Look, just don't move in the summertime, all right? Just don't do it, man. It's a bad idea.
Good advice. I'll take you up on it.
Bad idea. Bad idea. But the good news is well, it's going to be sunny today. Okay. Everybody likes seeing some sunshine. If it wasn't, threatening our lives every day, it would be nice. But it's going to be hot, but it's not going to be awful. The humidity levels aren't going to be as bad as they were before. So while temperatures are going to be high, it's not going to be nearly as muggy. It's still muggy, but not as bad. Let's try and get you through this Monday. Let's cheer up. Come on, it's Monday. Let's go. Let's get this. So we're going to take a look at this. This is our camera on the Courthouse Complex, downtown Joplin. It is a pretty decent start to the day. A little bit of a breeze out there. We're going to have a bit of a breeze throughout the day. So good news, tomorrow the winds are going to shift out of the northwest by the afternoon. And hold on, we're going to get there. I'm telling you, this thing hates me. I put new batteries in it, and it still hates me anyway. Our camera, 7th and range line in night vision mode here. Looking pretty good, though, even in black and white. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking good as well. Folks starting to get their day underway. The future track over the next several days doesn't have really much to show us. Maybe a passing cloud here or there, but otherwise just hot temperatures as we go through the day today, and a few clouds overnight tonight. Pretty mild start out there, a bit above average. 75 in Joplin, 72 over in Pittsburgh, and across the region, see, we've got these little patches here and there. So we've got some warmer spots, we've got some cooler spots. Anderson, Cassville, Monette, Jay, cooler spots out there. Rest of us, for the most part, low to mid 70s. It's not awful, but warmer than where it should be for this time of year. And then we've got sunshine, 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 and hot. Sunny and hot. We're going to go right around the mid, maybe some upper 90s out there. We'll have slight heat index values, but that is the one pro to this week, is while it is going to get hot, we're talking temperatures lower 100s possible tomorrow. We're not looking at 115-degree heat index values to go with it. It's not going to be pleasant, don't get me wrong. 101 is not a good temperature, but it's not going to be as muggy. We are going to start to see some changes this week. Temperatures trying to fall back a little bit. We'll go over those details in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. The city of Joplin is warning drivers of a lane shift starting today. The city says traffic on Connecticut Avenue between 32nd Street and the I-44 bridge will be shifted to the newly constructed pavement on the east side of the roadway. During the shift, Joplin warns that side streets will be closed for periods of time and drivers should expect delays. Well, soccer can be a very competitive sport, but in Joplin, the game is being played for a good cause. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how an annual soccer tournament supports victims of child abuse.
I love soccer. Of course, I grew up playing, still play, I coach, I ref. I'm still heavily involved.
Soccer is something that Jake Schaefer is passionate about. So when he found a way to take the sport he loves and use it to support a good cause, it was a perfect match. He is the event organizer for an annual soccer tournament that benefits the Children's Center, a nonprofit organization that supports victims of child abuse.
The Children's Center just sticks out to me just because of what they do and what they provide to our community. Just giving the kids that have gone through some pretty difficult times in their lives, just someone to talk to. Someone to kind of be on their side to investigate further into just what they're going through.
Samuel Speck is passionate about the sport, owning a soccer store in Neosho called The Corner Kick, as well as both sponsoring and playing in the tournament with the store staff. He says it's the perfect way to help support the community.
As a local business owner, this is what we want to do. We want to grow the game of soccer, use it as we can to help affect the community in a positive way, and couldn't think of a better cause.
Teams and players from all over came to take part in the tournament. It has grown significantly from its first year, now having 22 different teams compete and well over 100 players.
I was very taken aback at first, seeing all the spectators out here, all the players out here, and just seeing everybody all together. It was pretty astounding.
Referees even volunteered for free in the hot temperatures to make sure the tournament was a success.
They're not being paid and giving up their time today, which means we're going to be able to give more money towards the charity. So really proud of them for that, and greatly appreciated.
Participants say win or lose, they're happy to play because they know they're supporting a good cause.
Anytime the ball is at your feet, it's hard not to smile if you love this game, and knowing that we're all coming out doing it for a good cause just makes it even better. It's not about celebrating the goals today, it's about celebrating doing something for a great cause.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
And this was the third year for the charity tournament, and organizers say they hope to continue hosting it for years to come. As summer break comes to an end, Pittsburgh Aquatic Center is closing its doors to the open public for the year. The pool is ending the year off with contests and prizes for guests to enjoy, like a best dive contest and other competitions using the diving boards. The prizes help the pool clear out the concession stand as well.
It's a little bit bittersweet, you know, we get to always see all the kids that come around and get to know our regulars, and so then we have to go another 9 months through the school year of not being able to see them. So we're a family environment, and we're always welcome here during the summer to come and enjoy having fun with us and our lifeguards.
The Aquatic Center will have a swim for dogs on the 14th. As summer break comes to an end, school supplies become more of a need. The Oswego Christian Church decided to combine summer fun with free school supplies. The back-to-school bash, which took place at Riverside Park, gave residents a chance to get free school supplies along with summer activities like dunking a teacher in a dunk tank and more.
Our church cares for Southeast Kansas, and that we just want to love on them in a way that is tangible and that they can experience. And so our church members throughout the year gather supplies, and then we put them together.
Oswego schools start on August 15th. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Kansas City Royals closed out a road trip in Detroit. We have the details. Plus, the Ukrainian president displayed his country's newly arrived F-16 fighter jets during a ceremony. And we have a hot and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, Joplin Outlaws have officially secured their spot in the Mid-America League playoffs. The Outlaws look to finish the regular season strong as they play in their final weekend home game of the year. Outlaws looking for their third straight win against Sherman after winning Saturday night's game on a walk-off. So we're starting the first inning, and Ravon Morgan is going to hammer this ball into the gap as it rolls up the short hill in right field. Morgan is digging hard around the bases and slides in safely with a leadoff triple to start the inning. So next batter, Drake Lee rifles this baseball down the line, and that drives in a pair of runs. Joplin takes an early 2-0 lead to start the game. So we go to the third inning. This game tied 3-3. The bases loaded for Sherman. Herrera hits a fly ball to left field, and Brett Sarwinski makes the catch, but the Shadowcats add a run to give Sherman a 4-3 lead. Fifth inning, runner on first as Ravon Morgan hits a line drive, but the shortstop makes a nice play and steps on second base. Shadowcats spoiled the series finale. Sherman beats Joplin 11-3. Little League Baseball Midwest Region Tournament continues in Whitestown, Indiana. The Riverton 12U All-Stars lost their opening game, and now the team moves to the elimination bracket looking to keep their season alive. Riverton had a tightrope out of a nail-biting game, but they get the job done. Riverton beats Team Nebraska 6-5 as they advance in the elimination bracket. Rylan Baker goes 1 for 1 with a double and scored 2 runs in the game for Team Kansas. Riverton's next game will be this morning beginning at 9 a.m. as they face Team Minnesota. You can watch that game on ESPN+. The Kansas City Royals have been the hottest team in the American League since the All-Star break. The Royals wrap up their series finale with Detroit on the road. Royals at Tigers, second inning of the game. Gio Urshela singles through the left side, and that brings a run home. Tigers take a 1-0 lead. Detroit leads 2-0 in the sixth inning. Line drive hit hard by Dylan Dillinger, but Hunter Renfroe is there to make the leaping catch on the warning track. Nice catch by Renfroe, saves an extra base hit. So we head to the top of the ninth inning. Tigers still lead 2-0. It's 2 out for M.J. Melendez. He crushes one deep, and it's gone for a go-ahead 3-run homer. Royals take their first lead of the day. So we go to the bottom of the ninth. Hunter Harvey is on the mound looking for the save. Colt Keith, it's a line drive right to Adam Frazier at third. Throw to first is in time for a double play, and the Royals win a huge game on the road. Kansas City beats Detroit 3-2. St. Louis Cardinals were on the road against Chicago Cubs on Sunday Night Baseball. Chicago takes 3 of the 4 games as the Cubs win the series finale 6-2. However, Mason Wynn had a 2-run homer in this game. Cardinals will face the Mets this afternoon. Well, it feels like we just got started, but there's only one more week remaining of the Paris Olympic Games, and Team USA is catching up with the rest of the world for gold medals. What a Sunday it was for Team USA in the 2024 Olympic Games. Kristen Faulkner got the day started with a gold medal in women's cycling. Then Bobby Finke wins gold and sets a new world record in the men's 1,500-meter freestyle. Then the women set a world record of their own in the pool on Sunday. The United States wins a gold medal in the women's 4x100 relay. Then the big surprise was Noah Lyles, who wins gold by 5/100ths of a second in the men's 100-meter final. Lyles becomes the first U.S. athlete in 20 years to win gold in the event. Well, still to come, a new survey indicates teens often just want to feel like they're being heard when it comes to life's challenges. Plus, it's going to be hot. We're going to talk about that forecast when there might be some relief on the way when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:17, just a few seconds away from 5:18 on this Monday morning. And we're starting with a live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Not a bad start today, a little bit mild for some of us out there, but could be considerably worse. We've had those 80-plus degree mornings as we were into parts of July for a little bit. So again, not bad. 7th and Range Line looking pretty good there. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line also looking pretty good this morning. And same from the KDOT camera at 69 and Kansas Crossing. Looks fairly good this morning. So again, not a bad start to the day. The future track is not really going to show anything over the next 3 days. When you take a look down the road, it is going to be hot today. Mid-upper 90s across the region. We're going to fall back into the 70s tonight as we kick off our Tuesday. We go into Tuesday. It's sunny. It's hot. The winds are going to be shifting around on us, but they're going to be out of the southwest initially, then shift out of the north-northwest. Despite that northerly breeze, though, it's still hot. Look at some of these temperatures. Lower 100s out there for our highs on our Tuesday. However, remember what the north wind helps do. It does bring in drier air. So it's going to be 101 degrees, but it's going to be a bit drier, not nearly as humid out there. That's why we don't have any heat advisories, excessive heat warnings at this point, because we're not looking at those dangerous heat index values. Think of the desert Southwest. In my time here in the 4 states, I've run into folks from there, and they tell you that dry heat at 100 degrees is a lot better than a muggy heat at 100 degrees or even at 90 degrees. So it's still hot, but a little drier. A little cooler as we go into Tuesday night and start our Wednesday. We go back into the upper 60s. Wednesday, are a little slower to warm. It's still going to be toasty out there. We're still talking, many of us, low to mid 90s, but we're doing better. And again, the air stays dry for us. As we head into Thursday, same situation. Let's look at our temperatures right now, though. A little bit warm, 75, a little bit muggy out there. South breeze at about 9 miles an hour. Temperatures, we get some patchy spots. We get some cool temperatures in our southeastern counties and all the way down to Jay as well, upper 60s. But most of us, as you can see this morning, low to mid 70s. So a little above average for some, but it's not terrible out there by any means. We're looking at sunny skies. Could see a passing cloud here or there. Not expecting anything too crazy. We'll go near 90 though by 11 o'clock this morning. So a hot one today as we were talking about. Sunny skies into the afternoon. Not much to talk about there. And again, our highs mid upper 90s, some of us low 90s. It'll be a mixed bag of 90-degree readings. Tonight, still mild though. We're going to fall back again, low mid 70s across the region. We'll have clear skies through the evening, and again, maybe a few passing clouds here or there as we go into the overnight hours. Then we'll head down the road a wee bit, and again, hot tomorrow. 101 is one of the forecasted high points. We're talking low 100s for many of us, some upper 90s. A little cooler on Wednesday. As we head into the weekend, though, look at what starts to happen. Upper 80s, below normal temperatures. A few isolated showers or storms in the morning for Thursday and possibly into Friday. Our weekend looks a little better, too. Upper 80s, low 90s. And as we head into next week, we stay in the low 90s. So hot, but seasonably hot out there. So we just have a couple, 3 days of some unpleasant temperatures, and it's going to get a little better. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. A new survey indicates teens have a lot of good coping strategies for mental health and often just need to be heard. The data was published Tuesday using research from a partnership involving Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation. The survey asked more than 1,600 kids ages 10 to 18 about their emotional lives and their need from the adults who care for them. 45% said they felt stressed the day before, 38% felt anxious, and 23% felt sad. However, almost all of them, 94%, said they also felt happiness for much of that day. Researchers also found 1 in 6 parents have a hard time confronting and communicating with their teen. A Massachusetts man has been dealing with a rare form of cancer of the voice box. Recently, faced with the permanent loss of his voice, he underwent an extremely rare experimental voice box transplant and eliminated his cancer and restored his voice. As Jim Morelli reports, an emotional welcome home ceremony did not leave him speechless.
After 18 months away, Marty Kedian is back home.
I haven't seen a lot of you. I've missed you all. I'm glad you're all here. It means a lot to me and everybody that helped me through this journey.
Kedian's journey began 10 years ago when doctors diagnosed the Haverhill resident with laryngeal cancer, a tumor which affects what is commonly known as the voice box.
It was definitely hard to see my dad defeated. He's one of the most positive people in the world.
Over the years, as his cancer treatment continued, Kedian's voice grew weaker and weaker until he had no voice at all.
My only option in Massachusetts was a total laryngectomy.
That surgery would rid Kedian of cancer, but would render him, quite literally, speechless for the rest of his life.
And I said to my wife, I'm not doing that.
And that led Kedian and his wife Gina to explore an experimental option, a total voice box transplant, something that had only been done in the U.S. twice before. With the surgery available at the Mayo Clinic in Arizona, the couple relocated and waited it out. Last February, doctors finally found Kedian a suitable larynx, and Kedian found his voice and a sense of humor.
I'd sing a song, but it'd be terrible.
Thursday, friends and family welcomed Kedian home.
Because everybody should have a voice. Nobody should be left without a voice.
Kedian is now cancer-free. He and his wife are looking forward to someday meeting the family of his donor.
It's such a tremendous gift that they've given us, knowing that the donor's living on in Marty. I hope they can take some comfort in that.
Kedian says he's looking forward to reading to his nearly 2-year-old granddaughter in Newbury. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got another hot day across the area. There will be some relief later this week. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, families in Diamond, Missouri came together to celebrate the growth of the city park.
And we've got ourselves a mild start to the day, another hot one out there. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, local businesses in Miami hit the sidewalk to celebrate the city's annual sidewalk sale.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Snowy, and are you okay?
I think I'll make it. You ever get that little tickling in your throat and you just can't get rid of it? Excuse me. I'll get through it. We're going to make it. It's Monday, man. Gosh, it really feels like Monday and it looks like Monday. Yeah. I came in here this morning, it was darker. Now, the studio lights were off. I know that. There's little overhead lights that we have when the studio lights are off, but they seem darker in here, like something wasn't on, but I fully examined the studio and it was fine. So it just must be a Monday thing.
It must be.
It has to be because it was perfectly fine in here. But do you ever have that though? Sometimes like something seems off. Maybe not darker, but you go to a place you go all the time and something seems off.
Oh, sure. I meet you all the time. Something always seems off.
That's
all
a fact.
The time.
That is a fact. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, the one thing that's not off is the forecast. Unfortunately, you're going to wish it was because it's going to be hot the next few days, but I have some good news. There's some relief on the way later. We'll talk about that in a few more minutes. First, though, our camera 7th and range line. Well, it looks pretty good out there so far. We've got clear skies, dry conditions. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good as well as folks get their day underway. Has anybody else noticed, by the way, how few 24-hour places there are these days? My commute from here or from Joplin to the TV station, if I take just my regular route, there's not a single 24-hour establishment on my entire route. Like, I've got to go out of my way to find a 24-hour gas station. It's inconvenient. Our temperature is inconvenient as well, as we're going to heat up today above normal. We're going to go mid, maybe even upper 90s across parts of the area. Maybe a passing cloud or two, but otherwise hot, dry, and a southerly breeze. It won't be bad, a light southerly breeze. The good news is, though, as I've mentioned earlier, the humidity levels are going to be a bit lower. Dew point levels are going to be a bit lower. So even though it's hot, it's going to be a little drier heat out there. So we're not dealing with extreme heat index values. That's why we don't have any heat advisories, excessive heat warnings out there. 75 in Joplin, 72 in Pittsburgh right now, so above average for most of us. We do have some below normal temperatures. Get some upper 60s, Monette, Cassville, Anderson, and Jay, but the majority of us hanging out in the low to mid 70s. So not bad, but a little above where we should be. Sunny skies heading into the afternoon. Hot conditions, again, mid upper 90s out there, and a southerly breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour. As I mentioned, though, the winds are going to shift on us tomorrow afternoon, and that's going to change things up a little bit progressively over the next few days. We'll break down those full details for you in the complete forecast, and that is coming up in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, families in Diamond, Missouri came together Saturday to celebrate the growth of the city park. The park's Board of Diamond held a dedication for its new walking trail, which is a 1/4 mile long and helps make the park more accessible. To celebrate the new pathway, the board hosted a family fun day featuring a bounce house, a water slide, and games such as cornhole and carnival games. Community members say it was a great way for the community to come together.
So finally the walking trail is here, and we love to have like movies in the park and music and just different events for the community. So we thought this would be the perfect event. End of summer, it's hot, have the water slide, have the community come out, snow cones, we have root beer floats, food. It's all free just to everybody come and have fun.
The board says they hope to continue holding community events just like this at the finished park. The annual Emancipation Celebration took place over the weekend at Ewart Park in Joplin. The celebration does not take place on Juneteenth because history tells us it took months for enslaved people in our area to hear about their new freedom. The celebration is a way to remember and celebrate the history and culture of African American people in the Joplin area. However, organizers say that it does not mean it's exclusive.
This celebration is for everyone. We invite everyone to come down, experience some African American culture, learn about the history, learn about the achievement, and just come, and it's an all-inclusive event. It's fun. It's a family event. We have something for everyone. We have stuff for kids every night, every day. We have a car show. We have church in the park. So we have a lot of things. We try to include everyone.
Events continued until Sunday, and the event was free to attend. Well, dozens of local businesses and organizations joined together in Miami to take part in the city's sidewalk sale, which started in 1958. Stores offered discounts and sales, and Miami's Main Street was filled with food trucks, game and bounce houses, and even free haircuts. The sidewalk sale is a way for local businesses and organizations to help showcase themselves to new customers and display their unique crafts or food. Participants say the annual event is a great way to help unite the community around its small businesses.
We really need to promote local businesses. All these little mom and pop shops like we have here at Chapters, we need the local community support, and so it really helps to promote and grow and encourage other local business owners to open up and have their little mom and pop shops downtown too.
The sidewalk sale also featured a fundraiser where winners could get the chance to dunk Miami Mayor Bless Parker in a dunk tank. Well, Saturday was the first official day for the Ottawa County Free Fair. This year marks the 105th year of the event. Kicking off activities was a dog show and a fan favorite, the tractor driving contest. The tractor contest features contestants showing off their driving abilities with the large farm equipment. Participants in this year's contest say the event is a great way to start off the fair while doing something they love.
Today we're doing the Ottawa County Fair Farm Equipment Operators Contest. We'll do a four-wheel wagon and a grain drill course. Four-wheel wagon is one of the hardest farm implements to back in or even pull. And we got a few great participants out here today and we're going to make a good go of it.
Ottawa County Free Fair activities will continue through next Saturday, August 10th. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Demonstrators in the United Kingdom staged a violent protest at a hotel housing asylum seekers. Plus, the U.S. is closely monitoring Middle East with fears that an Iranian attack on Israel could expand the war. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky displayed his country's newly arrived F-16 fighter jets during a ceremony yesterday. Zelensky says the aircraft will bolster the country's war effort against Russia. They represent the first batch of F-16 fighter jets being sent to Ukraine by Western allies. He did not say how many F-16s have arrived in Ukraine or which countries they came from. Right now, Ukraine is dealing with both a shortage of trained pilots and a limited number of jets. The jets are also expected to provide a boost for the Ukrainian military's morale. Well, far-right demonstrators in the United Kingdom staged a violent protest at a hotel housing asylum seekers yesterday. They clashed with riot police and some of them got inside the building, throwing chairs at the officers, leaving 10 of them injured. It was one of several chaotic protests around the country that resulted in property damage and arrests. Authorities say misinformation about a knife attack in Southport, England last week that left 3 young girls dead set off the unrest. They say the reports online that said the assailant was a Muslim immigrant led to the violence. Prime Minister Keir Starmer is condemning the violence as far-right thuggery. The U.S. closely monitoring the situation in the Middle East amid fears that an Iranian attack on Israel could expand the scope of the war. Alex Hogan is in Tel Aviv with the latest.
Washington is fortifying its military footprint here in the Middle East. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby spoke about the specific need today on Fox News Sunday.
Look, when the Supreme Leader says he's going to avenge, we have to take that seriously. Now, I don't know what they're going to do or when they're going to do it, but we got to make darn sure that we're ready and that we have the capabilities in the region to be able to help Israel defend itself and, quite frankly, defend our own people, our own facilities, our own national security interests.
The IDF is preparing to defend itself while expecting another attack similar to the massive strike in April when Iran launched more than 300 drones and missiles against Israel in one night alone. Iran says that was in retaliation for an Israeli strike on a diplomatic facility in Damascus, which killed a top Iranian general. Now, following the death this past week of this Hamas political leader, Iran has promised revenge, and Hezbollah's leader has promised a new phase of the fighting. At the same time, continued cross-border attacks. The Israeli military says it took out a launcher in Lebanon after this played out last night. The IDF says Hezbollah fired about 30 projectiles into northern Israel overnight. And new fighting taking place in Gaza. Hamas says that Israeli strikes in the last day killed as many as 18 people and dozens more are wounded after attacks on a hospital and an old school, but both of which the IDF claims were being used to make weapons. At the same time, long lines forming at airports as foreign nationals from countries like the UK, US, and France are being told to leave the country as soon as possible.
Now to look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:44 on this Monday morning. We're starting with a live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Got clear skies out there, a bit of a southerly breeze, a bit of a mild start for many of us, a little above normal, but not too terrible as we get the day underway. Our camera 7th and range line also looking fairly good so far this morning. We're going to head south to 20th and range line. Again, traffic is moving. That's always a good sign. Looking fairly good so far as well. And we're going to head over to Kansas. KDOT camera 69 Kansas crossing. A little deserted this morning. Of course, that won't last long, but at least right now, clear roads looking fairly nice. Future track really doesn't have a lot to show us over the next few days. It is going to be hot. We could have a few clouds here and there. We're talking temperatures upper 90s for a good portion of us today, which also means we're still going to be above normal as we go overnight tonight. Most of us mid 70s across the region. Then we'll head into our Tuesday. Now Tuesday is going to be one of those interesting days where it's going to be pretty hot, but our humidity and dew point levels are going to be a little lower because the winds, if you watch the wind arrows here, they're out of the southwest initially. Then they're going to start to switch on us. They're going to come out of the north-northwest. So we're still looking at highs, upper 90s, lower 100s on Tuesday, but it's going to be a bit of a drier heat. It's going to be a little muggy, but we're not talking heat index values to 115. So at this point, we don't have any heat advisories, excessive heat warnings, because the air will be drier across the region, because that's what that north breeze will do for us. It will also set in motion a chain of events that's going to start to change up our temperatures and our forecast as we head into the weekend. Unfortunately, it still takes a few days to get here, get a little better. 75 in Joplin right now. Dew point is up there at 64. South breeze at around 9 miles an hour. Across the region, again, we do have some cooler temperatures. We got some upper 60s for Monette, Cassville, and Anderson. The majority of us, and Jay still, Jay's 68. The majority of us, though, again, low to mid 70s, so it's a bit above normal, but not significantly so. We're going to go with sunny skies through the morning. We're going to be near 90 by 11 o'clock, so it's going to be hot. Don't get me wrong, it's hot, but it's a slightly drier heat. A little muggy today, but nothing too crazy. Most of us right around the mid 90s, maybe some upper 90s. Again, for the further west you go, as you folks at home know, it gets a little hotter the further west you are. So some upper 90s definitely possible. We'll have a south breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head into the evening hours, we'll have clear skies through the evening. Again, maybe a passing cloud here or there. Mostly clear skies overnight, and again, above normal for most of us, low mid 70s across the area. Then the extended. Now, there's going to be some bad news, there's going to be some good news, and I can't really control the order in which it happens. That's just the way that the forecast plays out. We have bad news tomorrow. Yeah, we're talking lower 100s for a lot of us for highs tomorrow, but it's a bit of a dry heat, so heat index values won't be much higher than our actual air temperature. Then take a look at these temperatures. What we're expecting heading into the weekend, temperatures falling out there, upper 80s, low 90s, maybe a few morning showers or storms Thursday and Friday. Got a pretty decent weekend, and next week temperatures just a pinch above normal, hanging out in the low 90s. So some improvements are on the way. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
One teacher in Alabama is using an online sports magazine to teach middle school students writing, literacy, and social skills. Jarvis Robertson spoke with the teacher and her students about the publication's success.
PLAY stands for Promoting Literacy Among Youth Sports.
Tanya Hernandez-Fearson teaches Spanish at WJ Christian School. However, she started this digital youth sports magazine to highlight youth athletes, but also encourage a stronger sense of literacy among students.
I have junior writers in 7th and 8th grade that write all the articles, they design the pages, they do the interviews.
Here are some of the young journalists.
I've liked creative writing since I was in 5th grade.
It showed me how different people can be and how much they can evolve.
It helps me build my creativity.
Lacey Stinson is a rising 9th grader but hopes she'll get the opportunity to keep writing for the magazine. Stinson says this has made her take writing more serious, especially the editorial process, because it makes her think outside the box.
You're hearing everybody's ideas, and they're always unexpected when you're listening to the ideas.
We do everything via Zoom. We have our pitch meetings, we have our training.
Literacy has been at the forefront in Alabama for years. Now stipulations are greater. Brooklyn Cadell understands literacy transcends every facet of life.
I was very nervous because I was like, okay, maybe I like my writing, but what if other people don't?
The digital magazine is exposing students to people who may not be part of their inner circles. Nathaniel Thomas wants to be an artist or pro athlete when he grows up, but knows there's a basic understanding he must grasp.
It helps me keep me grounded and be able to comprehend others better.
With Fearson being a school teacher, she sees the issues up close with literacy, but she's not running away from the issues.
It makes me feel like I'm doing my part, and that's what I want to do. I want to do everything that I can because this is our future.
Well, this Nashville bookstore's four-legged employees encourage customers to come in and just hang out. Buying a book is a bonus. Austin Pollock takes us to meet the shop's dogs.
It's kind of a funny story. A story that's full of joy. One that's good for your soul.
We are at Parnassus Books.
Thousands and thousands of books. Titles include words like puppy brain, names like Bob Dylan. And if you need help, you can ask anyone. Even Miller. But please, wait until playtime is over.
It's a great place to come and hang out and pet a dog.
Ann Patchett is the owner of Parnassus Books in Nashville's Green Hills neighborhood. She has a full staff, both people and pups.
We just call it the Shop Dogs. And we have a lot of posts on our social media about what the Shop Dogs are doing, what the Shop Dogs are reading, the books they enjoy.
Hi everybody, it's Ann Patchett and Nemo Van Devender at Parnassus Books. Nemo got a haircut.
Right, Nemo? Right.
Nemo is one of, say, 4 or 5 of these employees. You know these pups aren't actually on the payroll, right?
A lot of biscuits.
The dogs belong to the staff members. Sometimes they roam around, attached at the hip.
You can just come here and hang out. And the dogs are part of that because people like to come in and just pet a dog for a little while.
But if you're going to come here, try not to wake. Shh. Try not to wake up. Shh. Hey, let's go over here and finish the story.
Also, kids like to read to the dogs.
You know the answer if you ask, "Can I pet your dog?"
And it's such a relief when you think, okay, I know you're cute and I know you're sweet, but are you going to be good in the store? And then you find out that the dog is good in the store.
Do you think we gave Winnie back there enough space to finish sleeping on the clock? Shh. Okay, gotta go.
Certainly a pretty adorable way to stay well read. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, dozens of dog surfers riding the waves in Northern California at the World Dog Surfing Championship. Hundreds of spectators lined the beach to see dogs from as far as Asia and Europe show off their skills. The first dog surfing competition took place in 2006 in San Diego. Judges awarded the pups based on the distance of the ride and their style. One owner says teaching his overachieving dog to surf took time, since French bulldogs tend not to swim, let alone surf. Proceeds from the event support local animal rescue groups, and attendees can even sponsor specific dogs to give back to local charities. Well, don't be selfish today. Instead, focus on shellfish and buy a friend some oysters to celebrate National Oyster Day. You can go out to a restaurant or make them yourself. Another fun way to celebrate: enter an oyster shucking contest. Yes, they exist. And some fun facts: there are more than 100 species of oysters, and only 1 out of 10,000 oysters produce a pearl. But hey, you might get lucky this year.
Well, I mean, if you join one of those contests, you're shucking enough oysters, odds are you got to find something, right? And to be honest, not surprised that there's a contest for that. There's contests for everything. I mean, we have hot dog eating contests, so that's where we are. That's how we do it. That's because we're awesome, right? And you're awesome. And this forecast, less than awesome, but don't blame me. I'm just telling you what's happening, okay? I didn't make it up. I didn't plan it. This is what we're expecting. Sunny skies, near 90 by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today, a bit above normal. In fact, a lot above normal as we go mid-upper 90s for most of us. Sunny skies for the day, maybe a few clouds here and there, and then we'll also be looking at a south breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Heading through the evening, clear skies, few clouds here and there. Same overnight, few clouds, and still above normal as we fall back into the low to mid 70s. But some good news, bad news here. Tomorrow, not very pleasant. Lower 100s, but the winds are going to shift out of the north, and that's going to also bring in drier air. So we're talking heat index values just a couple of degrees above that. So it's not going to be awful. It's not going to be great, but it's not going to be like it was last week. Then we'll take a look at this. Temperatures falling, maybe even a bit below normal as we head into the weekend. Upper 80s, low 90s, and maybe a few morning showers Thursday and Friday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more after this.